There.
Jeff has it.
Oh, Jeff has it. Have you got my beer?
It's over there.
Dear. It's going to be one of those evenings, isn't it? Thank you for pointing out all those typos, Jeff.
Yeah.
Especially given I've got some of my students here who I've been marking edit tests for. Anyway, I'm going to start by reading from my ongoing project, my translation of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, the great medieval Persian poems, a series of poems. And my series is called The Ruby Murray of Omar Khayyam. And I'm just going to read a selection of new poems. Most of the stuff I'm reading tonight is new, so if you've heard me before, hopefully this is new stuff. Rubai number 4. Still, awake, this is my half-life. A shard, a slitted shard. My face is dead, deaded by the broken un of it. Number 5. Long drive through border rattles. An illegal coffin. Omar is trafficked. Murmur, 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 murmur. Opened. Ready to kill. Number 46. These are night poems. Mistaken shudders, founded, close to her skin, the swoosh of wet tarmac, like orange peel, torn, damaged. Number 47. I felt closer. I knew that I had to meet this man, give him the briefcase, learn to say hello in a new language. I knew I had to pray for the end of Western imperialism, pray for the end of traffic, pray for an empty bus shelter, for the distant bleeping of dustbin trucks and burglar alarms, for all of them. Afterwards, I sat in a service station. I remembered how I had to leave here in the dead. I remember how I had to leave her in the dead, how I had to leave without her poems, the poems that used to mean something, however much it hurts. Number 17. Who was it tumbling in the fall to night, an enclosure of women, a disruptive tone? I is absent. Red charcoal burns in a drum, and a waft of air mediates. Who was it who said? Number 48. Time changes. A trajectory in the night burn. A business of cloud roll, tumbling in. Tiptoe, my darling, from the deuced as I once was, to the green, to the opposite of green. Number 113. To the caravan of our lives, flawed, relentless, suspended. And then we mourn it over wine and whiskey, over night, over love, and the end of Rabelais. This is a piece called American Rubai. Brush away the dust on the sandstone. Her name it. Field flowers, many. Lying by a scythe, smiles, stories. Scarlet silk, engulfs. Falls like summer, her fireflies. Bath footprints, she scapes in the path of cats, heat fading. Seashore look grasping, her hair in an holding on, coastal stop, a kiss, a goodbye to whiskey, like Voltaire. Useless this rain, unmemory a death pier, brush away the dust on the sandstone. Her name this is a series of poems called The Wire, and it's it's a series of poems that were kind of largely found text, but you'll get the drift, as it were, when you go through it. So just wait for some guys.
Sorry,
that's all right. That's a good time because I'm about to start another one. So have another drink.
There's space around here and on the floor.
Haven't actually got all that much to read, so it's quite good to have a bit of Okay, so this is a poem called The Wire. For guys, will just go around. January. Little Gidding. The village is in mourning. They form an elderly line. For once there is snow, and it bunkers, shovels, a few words, clenched, an intensity of birds round the highest house, paper, scissors, stone. Reflections of clouds against the ice make the air seem blue, blurred. The Neen is part frozen, part broken. Like a barrier, it barriers. There's also a lock here. Boats that were first moored in the dark. Memories of the likes of you, actually. Distanced. Inside, the bathroom mirror, cracking now, like tundra. I'm the Old Testament. I'm Jerome, looking startled in candlelight. And we were there, in our 1,000-year coats. As you say, brother, it's the Middle Ages. A dead honeybee sits on the sill. Always give them what they want, you tweet. In my mind's eye. It helps me realise, it helps me realise that it helps me realise when you speak, it hurts like the limes of Jericho. Later and alone, a ghost in the VCR. I rewinded it, to see little Isaac singing nursery rhymes. The voiceover tells us, tell us what he's learnt, what he'll learn soon. But he looks up, and the picture stops. I know we would have loved him. Perhaps he would have loved too. The earth isn't ours, brother. Together we sigh. We feel the weight of it all and all. It will cease soon. She will bring down the little birds, and I will bring down the little birds. A gorgeous oboe takes us back on a shard of light, as if we were... February, London. On a Sunday train, men and women, wellies on the seats. The world thaws, straddling the tracks. Fingers weave fingers. More fingers weave fingers on a beach in Marin County. Gail and Diego. They've come to remember sweet Maribel. They light a fire and sleep happy there. Tenot rises. embraces them. Some days pass. A reading at the Swedenborg. I'm alone amongst poets. Like an egg on the end of a thread. Eyes drop. Tinnitus. You agree to meet me, brother. Soho House is teeming and fecund. Dervishes play billiards in perfect circles. We devour the brie. I know you hate brie. Emma Watson sits by us. Her friend wants it so bad. Or not. You break first. You say, I'm an actor too, of fire and water, as you drink white wine. Waking nature, that's the rose of it. Like lichen beneath the Arctic ice, it remains, or remains. She looks impressed, or tired of pizza. I suck on an empty straw. Only the faithful hold this place green, brother. Only the faithful hold this place green. As you drive home, you pause. You tell me that you admired me, even envied me. Something about it. Lifelines, the remnants, the soft glow of the northern lights in an age of mongers, or some other pish. The moon bathes nude in the black. I long for Judah. The whir of the road gives us and around us gives way. After a while, we hear strings, a cavernous hymn, an echo of sound sprawling, brother, estranged, where it could have been a September, Jerusalem. All streets end here. There is this western wall, confronted by a dome and a rock, dripped in sweat. Biblical mopeds skid on the dust. It feels hopeless, brother. I don't know anything anymore. I'm a guest here amongst glyphs. Lilith isn't enough. I gabble my beliefs. Jesus scares, except in the corner. His tears and lashes are on a stone. I climb to the top of the world. Kipat Hasala. I know I stutter, brother. I fail. A continuous conviction that poesy is some sort of goddess. It's all well-tended garbage, like the sea shouting. At least here, I'm still here, like Abraham and his children. We're all in it, in pieces. Peace is as my head cracks, bleeding against the bricks at the bottom of the hill. But that frail lyric, man, it still amazes me. Amongst the buzz of muezzims, even the walls vibrate. Human beings are electric too, brother. Later I find her in the courtyards, sipping mint tea. Things are, a little bit at a time. That night I remember death, 1,000,000 miles away, and yes, it seems far-fetched, like an Arab love myth stitched through a well-worn gilliam, like a warm San Francisco, tempting but elusive. You were right, brother, but it's still there, around me. From death comes life as a series of pageants in lace, as kestrels on the edge, fighting with their heads to the sea, as a dark-haired girl curving on a circus swing, as the smoke of the bonny young men clinging to a public wall, as a single thought multiplied. It feigns as much as it alludes. It makes us lull. Even in the cloudscape, it makes us. October, London. Driving through it at night. Mount Sinai is watching us. The north against the south. Dancing with a long, straight steel frame to a punctum. Together things are. Gherkin is closing. Eagle is closing. street lamps flickering, waning, a timed distract, praising enemies in strange churches. We had seen you that night, brother. You roared. Cymbeline in chains on a polished black stage, an animal face, a series of murmurs and tensed half-breaths, majestic, simple. After the show, we toast you, but you brood. You say, I may be really foolish, Mike, but the sounds were man-made. They seemed linked from another place and time, with their own props. The roads are hot again, cluttered, recurrent concrete. Umps. Our windows are low. It all seems to matter for one night only. The air is all but pregnant now. Let dawn find us. Let the prince take us there. We sing for Samuel, sleeping in his cot, dreaming of Israel. It seems close, as though the towers have surrounded us, a hot copper thread. As we cross the bridge, we think of you, brother. Lights, electricity, sounds and voices are just waves, motions, undulations and vibrance, animate and inanimate, spiritual and minuscule, prayers, if you will. It hurts us, all of us, as we rattle across the bridge. But the voice of Eli is in this place. I too. His depth, his thought-tinted musicality, it makes me smile again. Recall the amber and the... That's the wire. And then finally, Love in the Argos catalogue. A found piece. Guess where? Love charms. Love cushions red. Love cushions black. And I love you canvas. I love curls too, professional curls. Circle of love so sweet figurine. Circle of love is the future figurine. Circle of love, my family, my life, my love figurine. Home is made of love and dreams, canvas. Truth in sterling silver, lucky in love, in gold. Our ladies love, they love us and they kill us, body bar. Tiny love, wonder wheel. Love letters block. Love letters. That's it, thank you.